Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to episode 132 of the Take One podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and welcome this week. So, there is something that I'm trying this week, and I'm not going to talk too much. That way, I can go ahead and get into everything that I have to cover on this episode. But last episode, I dedicated a whole episode to talking to Martin Scorsese, and I'm going to add a little bit more to that. I talked extensively about that, but I'm going to add just a little bit more, not on this episode, but maybe in a little video or something I'm gonna drop on my channel, because I feel like I need to add a little bit more, because a little bit more news came out about it. But until then, I'm going to be doing another podcast. A brand new podcast I'm going to bring to my channel is going to be called Box Office Talk. This is going to separate the box office segment from the Take One podcast. If you guys are new to this and you haven't really known how I do the box office segment, I basically give my predictions for the upcoming movies of the weekend. And so every week I always talk about what I predicted. Then I talk about the movies that came in the top 5 for that weekend. Then I'll talk about the upcoming movies for the upcoming weekend, and then I give my predictions for that weekend. And then basically every week it's just like that. So I'm going to take that whole segment and put it and make it its own make it his own podcast, and I'm going to talk a little bit more, so it's not just going to be that, because sometimes that talking about the box office can go for a long time, or it could go for a very short time, depending on what I'm talking about. And so I'm basically still going to be talking about news topics on there, but only stuff that's pertaining exactly to the box office, movies and everything else. And I may or may not do movie reviews on there, but if I do, it's going to only be movies that's pertaining to the box office. So mainly just the stuff, if it's reviews, it's more than likely going to be movies that's reviewed within the top 5 movies that's up in the top 5 box office or whatever for that week or whatnot. But that's really the only thing that's changed. I'm going to try to record it today and put it out as soon as possible, but that's the only difference. So there will be no box office segment for up in the future for the Take One podcast. But I have quite a few things to get into today. I have no movie reviews to review for this podcast, this episode, because I got quite a few things to talk about. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the subject at hand. So first off, I want to just jump right into a trailer review. I'm sorry, I gotta fix this stuff. But I'm going to talk about a new trailer that dropped, which is Bad Boys for Life. The second trailer just dropped not too long ago, recently. And really, I liked it. I liked the first trailer. That came out a while back. It was actually pretty decent, but this one shows more of what this movie entails. It shows a little bit more of the plot, a little more what we can expect of the movie. You got Marcus, who played by Martin Lawrence, and then Mike Lowry, played by Will Smith. You got them at different points in their life. Like, they're older. Marcus, he wants to retire. He wants to just give this life up, and he just wants to have a simple life and everything else. And so he's going for one last hurrah with Mike Lowry. And Mike wants to do this forever. He wants to constantly relive this glory days. So you can kind of see the what is it called? I don't know, whatever. I can't find the word, but you can see kind of like where this is going. You get Mike Lowry, who literally is getting older, and he's not accepting that. And he wants to he wants to stay in the game. He wants to stay fresh. He wants to, just be the guy that he's always been. And he doesn't want to settle down like Marcus and, start a family and retire and stuff like that. He wants to just constantly give it up. And I think that's a good little subject to touch on with it, and I like that they gave that up in the trailer, as well as you see them having to work with a younger generation with solving the case and everything else. And which I noticed upon this second viewing of the trailer that you don't see any of the newer actors in this trailer a lot. I mean, they're in there a few times, but it's within the same scene. You don't see them in any of the action scenes, I don't think they have a prominent role within the movie. they might, do stuff like behind the scenes, like help them out with like the tech part, or just here and there. But overall, it looks like it's just going to be a Marcus and Mike oriented like type movie, which it is. It's about them bad boys. But I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to focus too much on the other generation, because I don't know if they're going to try to expand a little bit more, maybe have like a spin-off that's connected to it. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like you're going to have any of the new actors, new characters have like more of a prominent role within the movie or whatnot. But that's just what this trailer gave me. That's just what I view. But this movie does seem like crazy, like it's action packed like crazy. I mean, once it gets into the meat and just the juicy meat of the trailer, all you see is action scenes, shoot, this, and that, and all this stuff, and a lot of craziness happening. It looks like this movie is going to be super action packed. As far as the plot, it doesn't really get too much into it, except that somebody is out there, trying to kill Mike, and it's not really known. I mean, of course, you might have like the synopsis online, but it doesn't really show it up in the trailer whether that's the main plot or that's just part of the main plot. We don't see really an antagonist in this movie. So more than likely, you're going to have like a cookie cutter type of villain that's just like, I want to do evil things because I'm evil and that's what the script wrote me to do. It doesn't have like a big major name or a major face that we can be like, that's the bad guy, and stuff like that. So I mean, it is what it is, and that's really what you got from one of the funnier things that I took from the trailer when I first viewed it was the scene where Marcus is getting into the side seat with Mike, and Mike telling him to get in, but it's a dog there. And he's like telling him like, it's a dog there. And he's like, get in. And you can tell that they're in a hurry to try and catch somebody, because shortly after you see a guy on a motorcycle or whatever. And he's like just scared to get up in there because the dog is barking at him, and he wants to. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't know how I cut that off, but yeah, he wants to get up in the car, and I just thought that scene was just so hilarious. And I don't know. They had like this kind of a thing that happened with the first trailer, where you got two songs playing in the trailer. And I thought that was just kind of weird. I don't know. In the first trailer it fit, but they hit it in the second trailer, and it's like, maybe I need to switch it up, because then you got Diddy's "Bad Boys for Life" song playing, as well as you got kind of like a little thing of "Bad Boys" the song playing, and it's just like, I don't know. Like, maybe they just switch it up for the next trailer. Like, they might need to switch it up. But in any case, I thought the trailer was really good. I thought that this really kind of sold it. I feel like if anybody didn't like the first trailer, you more than likely going to like this trailer over the first one. Maybe not love it or be completely sold on it, but you're going to be like, yo, this was better than the last trailer. So, you could probably appreciate it a little bit more. It comes out January 17th next year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be a great film, but from this trailer it looks like they're doing something awesome with it. And so that ends my review of the Bad Boys for Life second trailer. Let's jump right into Disney Plus. Now, Disney Plus is looking crazy. Of course I'm going to get it. And it's right around the corner. This coming Tuesday, November 12th, it is going to be available. It's going to launch, and I was thinking about getting $6.99, but looking for 12 months, it's going to come out to about $83 something or whatever. So I'm figuring like I'm going to go ahead and get that $69.99 deal, since that's a little bit cheaper, and plus I ain't got to worry about it being taken out all year, all this stuff. So I'm just going to really do that. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that's going to go to do that with HBO Max. And, you got all these streaming services. It's going to be very competitive and just highly, highly competitive. But Disney is one of the things that a lot of people are truly excited for. And I think that's what's really going to give Netflix a run for its money. And even though it's coming out and it's going to have a lot of stuff, there is a lot of things that's not going to be available on there. Of course, a lot of the programming that is still with Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. But I mean, Disney has a large stake in Hulu, so that's not really a thing. But we're looking at just Netflix. You're going to not see a lot of movies, which is Mary Poppins 2, Nutcracker in the Four Realms, Christopher Robin's, Wrinkle in Time. Until the contract ends with Netflix, those are not going to be on Disney Plus. So you can always go and find them on Netflix. And then share between Netflix and Hulu that's not going to be on Disney Plus is like Planes 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frank and Weenie, Mars Need Moms, and the Tarzan cartoon. Those aren't going to be on Disney Plus. As well as other stuff, Coco, The Incredibles 2, Up, Jungle Book, Cinderella, Maleficent, the first one, Beauty and the Beast, the remake, and those aren't going to be on Disney Plus, as well as it's going to be a plethora of like a lot of them. I mean, Dumbo will be on Disney Plus. Dumbo will be on Disney Plus, and right at launch, you're not going to find the newer titles like Toy Story 4, Lion King, Aladdin, Maleficent 2. Of course, Maleficent 2, Mistress, of Evil, that's still in theaters. That just came out. So more than likely, by the time that does come out to home video or stream, or, whatever, to Blu-ray, let's just put it like that, to home media, it will end up being, on the, Disney Plus or whatnot. But for right now, Lion King and the rest of them aren't going to be there. Probably by next year, sometime toward the first quarter of next year, you're going to have the remake of Lion King, the remake of Aladdin, and Toy Story 4 on there, of course. They're going to be on there eventually, just not going to be there on launch. But you're going to have a lot of titles. But also a lot of the classic stuff. I'm not even just going to go into names, but I mean, you can always look it up. A lot of stuff that aren't going to be on Disney Plus. And what's crazy is that a lot of Disney nature documentaries aren't going to be on Disney Plus, which is kind of weird, but I mean, it has other stuff that's connected to it. I mean, of course, you got National Geographic that's attached to Disney Plus is going to have a lot of content on there. So if you are a nature junkie and you like that type of stuff, you're going to be able to go on there and see them type of documentaries or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. But at the same time, we're getting a crazy amount of stuff on there. And then there's going to be a lot of stuff to come, as well as just like, new shows, new movies that are going to be dropped on there. So it's not going to be like, oh man, I wish they had this on there. I mean, it's going to probably be some movies where you're going to be like, oh, damn, did they got that on there? And they probably might not be on there because it's maybe a guilty pleasure that you love or a movie that you've been waiting for to see that you can't get anywhere else or whatever. But I mean, eventually, more than likely, it might do some stuff like Netflix where they might take some stuff off. Maybe it doesn't get watched as much, and then probably might replace it with something else. But sooner or later, they're gonna probably be doing swaps and stuff like Netflix does. So if there's a movie that they don't have on there, either you might want to go get it from another source, or you might just want to wait. Maybe you're going to see that on there. But, I mean, it kind of sucks. But at the same time, they're giving us a lot with it. So, I mean, a lot of the titles that I've seen, it's like, even if it's not on there, not just because it's on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, maybe they just don't have it on there because maybe maybe we might put it on later. It's just... it's going to be on there, at some point or another. We don't know. But, I mean, they're giving us so much with it. It's like, who cares? And it's very exciting, with all the stuff that they're going to give us. They're going to have 30 seasons of The Simpsons on there. So if you're a Simpsons fanatic, that's going to be love for you. That way you have all their content within one thing. You ain't got to sit there and, because I don't even know if they have it on Hulu or all that on Hulu. I'm pretty sure maybe not. Because if they had it on Hulu, they probably might not have it on Disney Plus because they want you to go to Disney Plus for specific stuff. So, but I mean, it looks crazy. But like I said, it drops November 9th. Well, no, November 9th. It drops November 12th. Launches November 12th. And the price range you get $6.99 a month, or which you by the end of 12 months you're gonna be paying like $80 or you can come out of pocket for one time for like the whole year and do the $69.99. So I think it's a better deal to do the $69.99 because that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't know what you guys are gonna do. But I'm very excited for this launch, and I'm really, really, really interested to see how all this is gonna be. And I know it's gonna have a lot of buzz when it launches. But hey, we'll see. Are you excited or not about the some of the titles that's not going to be on there? And if you looked up the other titles that I didn't mention that's not going to be on there, are you sad that those aren't going to be on there, or you just don't care? You just want to see what they're going to give us? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like kind of 50-50, but hey, it's whatever. Next, going into, there is news that basically AntMan 3 is going to happen. So there was a lot of discussion before that after Endgame that we're probably going to see another AntMan movie because we've seen them in 5 films now. 2 of the AntMan films, 4. Yeah, it was 4. So 2 of the AntMan films, Civil War and then Endgame. He was up in there. And I guess because of his just how he was perceived up in Endgame, a lot of people want to see Ant-Man. So it was like, okay, let's go ahead and greenlight an Ant-Man movie, which I have no qualms with. I thought the first Ant-Man movie was good. It didn't knock my socks off. I thought it was good. It wasn't anything that I could just brag about. But I did really, really did like the second film. I saw that on the early screening in IMAX in Navy Pier. And if you ever been to Chicago and been to Navy Pier, you know how huge that screen is. It's only IMAX. So that's what I went to go see, and I really did like it. I didn't like that I really had to pee toward the end of the movie, that I had to run to the bathroom, pee real quick, and run back. But I really did like it. Peyton Reed is coming back to direct, and he was the person that was responsible for helming the directorial spot for the first 2 Ant-Man films. And it will be shooting toward the end of 2020 or as early as 2021. Which, I guess how I said that made it seem like it's going to be earlier than 2020. But, so it's going to be toward the end of 2020 or early 2021. And it will be released in 2022. But before that is going to be Thor 4 as well as Doctor Strange 2, which is the universe or the multiverse of madness, and then Thor the what is it, Love and Thunder, something like that. And it will be basically shot and done before Ant-Man can come out and everything else. So you're gonna have those 3 movies coming out within the same year. Of course, Paul Rudd is coming back again. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they really needed him. It's not sure on if Michael Douglas or Evangeline Lilly is going to come back and reprise their roles, but more than likely you can say it's a safe bet, but we never know. As well as they're going to get Michael Pena back because he was like a fan favorite for that, and no details have came out about what the movie entails, but more than likely, as it gets closer, we're going to find out more stuff. But right now, it's just, we're happy, especially a lot of people happy. If you like the first 2 Ant-Man movies, that you more than likely excited just whether, just that it got greenlit and you're like, fuck it, I don't care. Ant-Man 3, we're going to go see it, So, I mean, it's actually pretty cool. And, what else about it? But yeah, that's basically it. About that. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this. I'm kind of curious about how Phase 4 is going to happen as well, going into Phase 5 and what they got planned. Right now, we only have a handful of not even a handful of stuff that we can have an idea, a picture of where, these next phases are going to go. But I'm very curious to see what they're going to do from here on. So, jumping off of that, let's jump into the next subject, which is the last thing that we're going to talk about on this episode of the podcast, which is Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse Sequel has been greenlit. It has been greenlit, and it will come out spring 2022. If you think that is a long time from now, which it kind of is, but at the same time, animated films do take a long time to make, especially how stylistic the movie was. Now, going into it, I do have my review on my channel, so you can go ahead and check it out. I'm going to put the link into the description of this video, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse didn't make a crazy amount of money, but it did make a decent amount of money at the box office, and it was amazing. The movie, I saw it 3 times in theaters. Actually, the first 2 times were early screenings, which I don't know, like around certain times, those would be like the best screenings for me. And it was so weird because last year around December, I had a lot of early screenings. I really did. Mary Poppins 2, I had an early screening for that, but I didn't go to that. But I had 2 early screenings for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse within the same week. I think one was on Monday and then the other one was on Saturday. The first one I went downtown. And I'm just making this short because I know I'm getting off the subject, but was downtown at the University of Chicago, and the other one I had went with my son, and it was like on the west side or whatnot. And then I saw it in 3D with I saw it in 3D toward the awards or whatever, toward the Oscars or whatever for, Oscar nominations. They bring them back in theaters and stuff. And I think around that time I had an early screening for, what was that movie? The Jennifer Lopez movie, as well as Aquaman. Second act, that's what that Jennifer Lopez movie was. I had it all around the same time, so it was like, embarrassing, what is it? Dang, I don't even know the phrase of it. I can't even think right now, but I hit that as well as a Bumblebee early screen. So I was just diving in early screenings. But yes, to get back on topic, the next one I don't know if it is still going to involve Miles Morales. I hope it does. And it doesn't have a title yet, so people are just calling it Into the Spider-Verse 2 or just saying it's a Into the Spider-Verse sequel. I just like calling it a sequel, but it's going to have a Spider-Man from Japan. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing this name wrong. I'm bad at pronouncing names, but Takuya Yamashiro. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it, but Yamashiro, Takuya Namorosha. Oh, that is horrible. Anyway, he's a Japanese Spider-Man who has, like, from what I've read, is that he acquired the Spider-Man power from an alien spider or something. It was just, it's weird, but it's not the same way that Peter Parker got his or whatever. So like I said, I don't know if Miles Morales is going to be up in this episode, going to be in the sequel and then have this other Spider-Man, or if it's just going to be another Spider-Man in general and just see how they go. But I'm like, man, they should keep going with the Miles Morales thing. But I mean, there's not really too many details surrounding it because, it's very early. More than likely, they're still trying to get the beginning workings on it and still working on the script and seeing what works out. But there was a tweet that really kind of revealed it. A fan basically wanted to do the design for if they wrote this specific Spider-Man within the movie, and then Phil Lord, who was attached to the first one, basically came out and said that we're basically gonna see how our version turn out and then go from there. So he basically just gave it out in that sense, saying that we are using this specific Spider-Man within the sequel. So basically we're gonna go from there. And that's really all that came out about it. You do have it coming out in April 8th, 2022. So it does have a release date, and it is a Sony picture. So, but if you have not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, definitely check it out. It is on Netflix right now. So man, it is very dope. Very, very dope. Joaquin Dos Santos is directing, and David Callahan is writing it. So this does seem very exciting. I cannot wait for this movie to come out because I really did like the first one. I hope they do a thing where they have like a double feature presentation for it, where they have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse playing right before the sequel comes out and stuff. And if they do, hopefully I will be in a position to where I can watch both, because that movie, yeah, I'm kind of excited. So I'm hopefully be more excited when they actually get into filming and they actually have a trailer for it. But hopefully it still has Miles Morales in there, and they can continue the story from where they left off in like Spider-Verse, and just do something crazy with this one. And hopefully it's as good as the first one was. But it's yet to be seen. But with that said, that wraps up this episode 132 of the Take One podcast. Like, thank you guys for joining me. And I am going to be doing the box office talk podcast, recording it later today. I don't know if I'm going to drop it later today or drop it tomorrow. I'm going to try and drop it today, but once I do, look out for it. The only way that you can be notified by it is if you go ahead and give a like up, give a thumbs up on this podcast, as well as subscribe. That's the only way that you can do it. And not only that, on top of that, hit the bell notification. That way you'll be notified. But I'm going to have all this stuff at the end of this, as well as, like I said, I'm going to have the review that I have for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse attached in the description below of this video. And yes, that's about it. And I will catch you guys later on the next one. Peace out. Hey, before you guys leave, make sure you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button. And you see that little bell? Make sure you hit that to turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.